The red sun was slowly setting over the human colony on planet Orion 7. The sky looked like burning metal, and long shadows covered the dusty streets. Evan Miller, a simple repair worker, walked home after a long and tiring day. His boots were heavy with dust, and his mind was heavy with worry. Life on Orion 7 was hard. Machines broke every day, energy lines failed, and strange storms came without warning. Evan just wanted to reach home, eat something warm, and sleep. But that evening, something unusual waited for him. Near the side of the road, sitting on a broken stone bench, was an old alien woman. Her skin was pale blue and covered with strange silver lines. Her clothes were torn, and her eyes looked tired and thirsty. Many humans passed by her, pretending they did not see her. Some were scared of aliens, some simply did not care. But Evan stopped. He felt something inside him, a feeling he could not explain. The old woman looked up at him with weak eyes. Her lips were dry, and her hands shook. Evan slowly took out his water bottle, walked to her, and offered it with a gentle smile. "Here, please drink," he said. The alien woman touched the bottle with her shaking hands and took a long sip. Her eyes closed for a moment, as if she was feeling life return to her. Then she looked at Evan again, and something strange happened. Her eyes glowed softly, like two tiny stars waking up. She reached out and held Evan's hand. Her touch was cold, but it carried a strange, powerful energy. "You showed kindness," she whispered. Her voice sounded old and young at the same time. "Kindness never returns empty, human." Evan felt a sudden chill run down his spine. He pulled his hand back quickly. The woman smiled, a slow, mysterious smile, then stood up with surprising strength. She bowed her head slightly, turned away, and disappeared into the evening fog. Evan stood frozen. "What was that?" he whispered to himself. He shook his head and walked home, trying to forget the strange moment. But when he reached his small house at the edge of the colony, he noticed something disturbing. There were footprints near his door, but these were not human footprints. They glowed faintly, like soft blue light trapped in the dust. Evan knelt down and touched one. It felt warm, almost alive. He looked around. No one was there. The wind was silent. The sky was too still. "Is someone here?" he called out nervously. No answer. He entered his house, locked the door, and tried to calm himself. Maybe it was just some kids playing outside, he thought. Maybe the light was from some glowing dust. Maybe he was imagining things after a long day. But that night, things became even stranger. While Evan tried to sleep, he heard a soft whisper outside his window. A sound like someone calling his name, slowly, carefully, almost kindly. He sat up in his bed, heart beating fast. He listened again. Nothing. He walked quietly to the window and looked outside. The street was empty. The wind had stopped. Not even the dust moved. But then, for a single second, he saw a bright flash of white light in the distance. It was quick, but strong enough to make him jump. "What is happening?" he whispered. His house felt colder. His skin felt strange, as if something had touched him without permission. Outside, the glowing footprints appeared again, even brighter this time, and Evan knew he was no longer alone. Something, or someone, had followed him home. The next morning arrived too quickly for Evan. He barely slept. His mind kept replaying the glowing footprints, the whisper by the window, and the strange old alien woman who spoke in a voice that felt like ancient wind. When the first light of dawn touched his room, Evan finally stood up. He wanted to believe everything was just imagination, nothing real, nothing dangerous. But reality waited at his door. Evan unlocked his front door, pushed it open slowly, and froze. Standing outside were 5 young aliens. They were not like the old woman he had met. These were beautiful in an almost unreal way. Soft glowing skin, bright silver eyes, and long hair that shimmered like light moving through water. Each one looked different, but all had the same strange glow. They stood quietly, hands folded in respect, as if they were waiting for him. Evan's breath caught in his throat. Can I help you?" he asked, voice shaky. The tallest child stepped forward. His voice was calm and musical. "We come from our grandmother. You showed her kindness. We are here to honor that kindness." Evan blinked. "Grandmother? You mean the woman from yesterday?" "Yes," the child nodded. "She is our elder. She tested you. You passed." Evan had no idea what kind of test they meant. He only gave her water. The smallest child, a little girl with glowing green eyes, smiled softly and said, "She told us you have a warm heart." "A rare heart." Evan stepped back slightly. "I think you're mistaken. I'm just a worker. I'm nobody special." The children looked at each other and smiled, as if they knew something. IDN single quotes T. The taller boy said, "Kindness makes anyone special." Before Evan could reply, the children slowly walked past him into his house, without waiting for permission. They moved like light, soft and quiet. Evan stood there, shocked, unsure whether to stop them or run inside. They touched things with gentle curiosity. One child lifted a broken lamp, and it suddenly fixed itself, glowing brighter than before. Another touched a dead plant on the table, and it bloomed instantly, petals glowing like stars. Evan stared. How are you doing that?" The children looked at him with innocent eyes. "These are small abilities," the boy said. "We only use them for good." Evan rubbed his forehead, trying to understand. "Why are you in my house?" The tallest replied, "We must stay with you for one day." "Why one day?" "To protect you." Evan's heart skipped a beat. "Protect me from who?" The children fell silent. Finally the oldest whispered, "A shadow follows you. We sensed it last night." Evan felt the air grow colder. His skin prickled at the memory of the strange whisper outside. "What shadow?" he asked, voice barely steady. The small girl pointed to his hand. "Grandmother touched you. She left a mark. The shadow creatures can feel that mark now." Evan looked at his hand. Nothing was visible, but it tingled lightly, as if glowing under his skin. He swallowed hard. "So, someone is hunting me? Because I gave water to an old woman?" "Because your heart shined," the boy corrected. "The shadow hunts any light it cannot control." Evan felt dizzy. This couldn't be real. He was just a normal man. He fixed machines, he paid rent late, he cooked burnt meals. Nothing about him was important enough for aliens, beautiful, glowing aliens, to guard him, but the fear in their eyes was real. As the sun climbed higher, the children suddenly turned toward the window. Their eyes glowed brighter. "He is near," whispered the smallest one. Evan followed their gaze. Outside, on the far end of the street, a dark figure stood perfectly still, watching his house. A long shadow stretched toward him. The creature had arrived. Asterisk. Evan's heart raced as he watched the dark figure lurking at the edge of the street. The glowing children didn't flinch. Instead, they seemed to draw strength from the fear in the air, as if danger made their light brighter. The tallest one stepped forward. "Do not be afraid," he said softly. "We will show you why you were chosen." Evan swallowed, unsure whether to trust them. He wanted to run, to hide, but something inside him, something stubborn, kept him rooted to the spot. The children moved through his house like gentle breezes. The air shimmered around them. A broken chair lifted slowly, fixing itself, as if it had never been broken. Evan's old clock, silent for years, ticked again, the hands glowing faintly. A small plant on the windowsill straightened and grew taller, petals glowing with soft light. Evan blinked. This is impossible," he whispered. The children smiled. "Kindness opens the door," said the small girl. "Power flows where hearts are pure." Suddenly, the youngest boy knelt near the floor. He placed his hand on Evan's rug, and the fibers lifted, twisting into tiny shapes, little stars, flowers, even miniature figures that floated in the air. Evan reached out to touch one. It vanished instantly, leaving a faint glow behind. He felt a strange warmth in his chest. His own hands tingled. Could he feel the energy? Before he could understand, one of the children stiffened. They're glowing. Eyes turned sharp. "Watch," the boy warned. "The shadow is closer than you think." Evan turned toward the window. At first he saw nothing. Then, like a ripple in darkness, the shadow figure moved faster, stretching long, thin arms across the street. Its form was unclear, shifting, almost like liquid smoke, but its eyes, two small points of blackness, fixed on him. The smallest girl floated slightly above the floor. "It senses your mark," she said quietly. "It knows you exist." Evan's stomach turned. "What mark?" he whispered. He looked at his hands again. Nothing, just the faint tingling. The children moved closer, forming a circle around him. The oldest boy placed his hand lightly on Evan's shoulder. "The mark is not seen by eyes. It is felt by the world. And the shadow can feel it too." Evan's mind raced. He was a simple man. He fixed machines. He never fought, never had power. Why him? The small girl floated near the ceiling and pointed at his chest. "The mark chooses the heart. You helped when no one else would. That is why you are special." Evan swallowed hard. "I only gave her water, that's it. How can that matter so much?" The children's voices were gentle, yet firm. "It is enough," said the tallest boy. "Kindness can light galaxies or destroy shadows." Suddenly, a gust of cold wind slammed against the house. Windows rattled. Evan stepped back nearly, falling as the glowing children's eyes flared. They raised their hands, and the air around them thickened with energy, glowing blue and green, swirling around the room like ribbons of light. The shadow outside froze for a moment, as if it had been struck by invisible chains. Then it moved again, faster this time, darker and angrier. The oldest boy turned to Evan. "We cannot stay calm for long. You must be ready. Soon it will come inside, but do not fear. Fear feeds it. You must trust kindness and us." Evan nodded, heart pounding, a strange mix of fear and courage rising in him. For the first time he felt not powerless. Not completely, but even as the children's glowing forms surrounded him like a shield, Evan knew one thing for certain. The shadow would not wait, and whatever was coming would test him in ways he could never imagine. Night fell over Evan's small house, swallowing the colony in darkness. The wind howled softly, carrying the faint scent of alien dust. Inside, the glowing children floated quietly, their light dim but steady, surrounding Evan like a protective halo. Yet the tension in the air was almost unbearable. Suddenly, the shadows outside deepened, stretching unnaturally across the street. A dark form emerged, larger than any human, taller than a building, shifting like liquid smoke. Its eyes burned, black like empty pits searching for life. Evan felt his heart pound against his chest. "It's here," he whispered, his voice trembling. The oldest boy stepped forward. "Brace yourself," he said calmly. "It knows where the mark is. It will come for you." Evan swallowed hard. "The mark? What does it do?" "It is a sign of the heart," the boy replied. "Those who carry it can change the fate of worlds. That is why the shadow hunts you." Before Evan could respond, the shadow struck. The ground shook as a wave of darkness slammed against the house, splintering the wooden doorframe and sending dust into the air. Evan stumbled back, almost falling over. The children flared their glowing energy outward, forming a shield that shimmered like glass but felt stronger than steel. The shadow hissed, a sound like grinding metal and whispers of ancient voices. It wrapped its tendrils around the house, probing, testing the glowing shield. Every time it touched, sparks flew, and Evan could feel cold creep along his bones. The small girl floated closer, her tiny hand raised. "Do not be afraid," she said softly. "Fear is the weapon it uses. You must trust yourself." Evan clenched his fists. He was just a simple man, used to fixing machines, paying bills, and living quietly. Yet something inside him stirred a warmth, a spark. He remembered the old alien woman, thirsty and weak, and how small his act of kindness had seemed at the time. And now that act had grown into something powerful. The shadow's tendrils smashed against the shield again. One broke through. A dark mist poured inside the house, twisting and writhing toward Evan. He felt a cold pressure on his chest, suffocating. He wanted to scream, but the children's voices cut through the fear. "Think of kindness," they shouted together. "Think of what you did." Evan closed his eyes and focused on that moment, the simple act of giving water to a helpless being. He pictured her grateful eyes, her soft smile, her whispered words. Kindness never returns empty. A sudden warmth exploded from his chest. Light surged from his hands and spread across his body. The tendrils recoiled as if burned by invisible fire. Evan opened his eyes. His hands glowed, not like the children's, but golden, fierce, alive. The shadow shrieked, a sound that made the walls tremble, and retreated slightly. The children's eyes flared brighter. "It senses your power now," the tallest boy said. "You are awakening." Evan stepped forward, instinct guiding him. He raised his glowing hands, and a wave of golden energy pushed the shadow backward. The house trembled under the force. But the children held the shield steady. Evan felt the energy hum through him, filling him with strength he had never known. The shadow hissed again, swirling faster, angry and desperate. It stretched toward Evan like a living storm, but now he did not flinch. The oldest boy's voice was calm, yet commanding. "Strike back with your heart. Strike with your kindness." Evan focused on the memory of helping the old alien woman, the warmth of her gratitude and the glow in the children's eyes. The golden light burst from his hands like a comet, hitting the shadow head-on. The creature let out a final, horrifying scream before recoiling into the darkness outside, retreating at least for now. Evan sank to his knees, trembling, breathing heavily. The children hovered around him, soft light washing over the room. "You have passed the first trial," the tallest boy said. "But remember, the shadow will return. And next time, it will be stronger. You must be ready." Evan looked at his hands, still glowing faintly. His life as a simple man had ended. A new path had begun, one that would test his courage, his heart, and the true power of kindness. Outside, the night was still, but a sense of waiting hung in the air. The shadow had left, but it had not disappeared, and Evan knew. The real battle was only beginning. The morning sun broke through the horizon, painting Evan's small house with soft orange light. But he did not feel peaceful. His hands still glowed faintly from last night's battle, and the shadows of fear lingered in his mind. The children hovered around him, their glowing forms calm but serious. "Evan," the tallest boy said, his voice gentle, "it is time you know the truth about our grandmother." Evan looked at them, confused and curious. "I thought I already know. She's the old woman I helped." The small girl shook her head. "She's much more than that. She is the guardian of light, the keeper of hearts. She tests those she meets, looking for kindness, courage, and purity. Only those who pass her tests receive the gift of protection." Evan blinked. "Protection? From what? From the shadow?" The boy nodded. "Yes, shadows are creatures that feed on fear, greed, and selfishness. They hunt anyone who carries the mark of kindness because kindness threatens them. You carry the mark now, Evan. That is why they came for you." Evan's mind spun. "I just gave her water. That's it. I didn't do anything heroic." The Children exchanged glances, then the tallest boy spoke. That was enough. The simplest act of kindness is the most powerful, especially when no one watches or rewards it. Your heart shined, Evan. That is why the grandmother chose you. Evan felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had never thought that helping someone could matter so much. He had always believed that small actions were meaningless. But now, he understood. Just then, the smallest girl floated closer, her eyes glowing softly. Our grandmother has lived for thousands of cycles. She has seen countless worlds, countless beings. She appears weak to test hearts. She appears fragile to see if someone will care. And when someone does, she sends us the grandchildren to protect them and guide them. Evan swallowed hard. Thousands of cycles? So, she's immortal? The oldest boy nodded. Not just immortal. She is wise beyond any living being, you know. And she has chosen you for a reason. Your kindness has the power to change the fate of this world. And maybe others. Evan felt both amazed and terrified. He was a simple man. How could he ever live up to something so enormous? One of the children floated closer and touched his hand. You are not alone, Evan. We are with you. And our grandmother. She will reveal more when the time is right. Evan looked out the window. The shadow had disappeared, at least for now, but he knew it was only waiting, watching, planning. He thought of last night's battle, of the fear he had felt, and of the light that had come from within him when he remembered helping the old alien woman. It's a lot to take in, he said quietly. The tallest boy smiled gently. Yes, but now you understand that your actions matter. That one small act can ripple across the universe. That kindness is a force stronger than fear. Evan looked down at his glowing hands and then at the children around him. He had no idea what the future held or how many battles he would face. But one thing was clear. The grandmother's secret had changed him forever. He could never go back to being just a simple man. The small girl's voice was soft, almost a whisper. Remember, Evan, shadows will always try to stop those who shine. But light, once it burns, cannot be hidden. And your heart shines brighter than most. Evan took a deep breath. He felt fear, yes, but also courage, something new, something he had never known. He knew the shadow would return. He knew danger was near. But he also knew he had been chosen for a purpose larger than himself. And in that moment, Evan realized the truth. Kindness was not weak, it was the most powerful force in the universe. Outside, the wind shifted. The colony was quiet. The shadows were gone for now. But the real journey, the one that would test his heart, his courage, and the power of kindness, was only beginning. The night was darker than Evan had ever seen. Outside, the colony seemed empty, silent, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Inside his house, the 5 glowing alien children hovered, watching him with expectant eyes. Evan's hands still glimmered faintly from the morning, but now the glow pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat, almost alive. You feel it, don't you? The tallest boy asked. The power inside you, it has awakened, but it is only the beginning. Evan looked at his glowing hands and flexed his fingers slowly. He could feel the warmth coursing through him, spreading from his chest to his fingertips, filling him with strength he had never imagined. His body felt different, lighter, sharper. Alive. I don't understand it, he said, voice trembling. What is happening to me? The smallest girl floated closer. You are no longer just Evan the worker. You are Evan the chosen. Your kindness has unlocked your heart's energy. You can sense the world, you can protect it, and you can fight shadows that would destroy it. Evan's heart raced. He had never been a fighter, never been brave beyond fixing broken machines or helping neighbors, and yet, the energy inside him felt natural, like it had been waiting for this moment all along. A sudden gust of wind slammed the front door open, rattling the windows. Shadows spilled into the room, thick and black, crawling along the walls like living. Smoke. The shadow creatures had returned. Evan stepped back instinctively, but the children's glowing forms surrounded him like a shield. "Remember your heart," they shouted. "Remember why you were chosen." Evan closed his eyes, thinking of the old alien woman, her trembling hands, her quiet smile, and the water he had given her. That simple act, so small at the time now, burned in his chest with incredible power. He opened his eyes, and his hands blazed with golden light, brighter than before. The shadows hissed, recoiling from the light. Tendrils lashed out at him, trying to snuff it out, but the golden energy formed a barrier, pushing them back. Evan's fear was replaced by determination. He had never been strong, but now he knew he could be. The oldest boy's voicing out, calm but commanding, "Strike, let your heart guide you." Evan lifted his hands. The golden light expanded, swirling around him like a storm. It hit the shadows with a force that made the walls tremble. The creatures screeched and writhed, their smoky forms unraveling under the pure strength of Evan's courage and kindness. For the first time, Evan felt truly alive. His body moved instinctively, dodging attacks, creating shields, and sending bursts of golden energy toward the shadows. The children guided him, but he realized he didn't need them to act. The power came from inside him. It was his own heart, his own light. The shadow hissed, collapsing into itself, then surged again, more furious than ever. Evan's hands flared brighter, and he stepped forward, pushing the darkness away with a force that surprised even him. His fear melted, replaced by clarity. He was no longer the ordinary man from the colony. He was a force to be reckoned with, finally. With a last surge of energy, Evan focused all his light into a single powerful blast. The shadows shrieked and scattered, retreating into the night, vanishing into the distance. The house shook but remained standing. Evan fell to his knees, exhausted but exhilarated. The children floated around him, their glowing eyes soft and proud. "You have passed the awakening," the tallest boy said. "The shadow is weakened, but it will return. You must continue to grow. Your journey has only begun." Evan looked at his glowing hands and smiled, for the first time truly understanding the grandmother's gift. He had discovered that a single act of kindness could awaken something extraordinary within a person. He was no longer afraid, no longer ordinary. He was a protector, a beacon of light in a galaxy that had grown dark in many places. Outside, the colony was quiet. The shadows were gone for now. But Evan knew they would return. And next time he would be ready. For now, though, he allowed himself a single thought. Kindness was not just good, it was power. And power, Evan realized, came from the heart. Asterisk. Morning after Evan's awakening was quiet, almost peaceful. Sunlight spilled across the dusty streets of the colony, painting everything in soft gold. But Evan knew the calm was fragile. Shadows could return at any moment. Yet today, he felt different, stronger, braver, and ready. The 5 glowing children hovered around him, their light gentle and reassuring. Their eyes sparkled with pride. "You have done well, Evan," said the tallest boy. "You have faced fear, embraced your power, and understood the heart's strength." Evan smiled, though it was a small, humble smile. He looked at his hands, still faintly glowing. "I didn't do it alone," he said. "You helped me, but I understand now. It wasn't just power. It was kindness." The children nodded. "Exactly," the smallest girl said. "Kindness is a force stronger than any shadow. It cannot be destroyed, only shared." Suddenly, a soft light appeared at the edge of the room. Evan turned, heart beating fast. There, in the doorway, stood the old alien woman, the grandmother. But now she was not weak or fragile. Her skin shimmered like silver, her eyes glowed like twin stars, and her presence filled the room with warmth and power. She looked majestic, almost like a queen from the stars. "Evan," she said, her voice calm but powerful, "you have passed all tests. You have shown courage, kindness, and a heart that shines brighter than most. That is why you were chosen." Evan stepped forward, speechless. I didn't expect. I'm just me." "You are more than just you," she replied gently. "You are a beacon. A human with the courage to care, the strength to act, and the heart to protect. That is rare." In the galaxy, the 5 children floated closer to Evan, smiling. "We are here to thank you," the tallest boy said. "Your light helped us fight the shadow. Your heart awakened your own power." Evan felt warmth swell in his chest. He realized that the act he thought was small, giving water to a weak old alien, had created a chain of events that changed lives and even worlds. The grandmother extended her hand. "I offer you a choice, Evan. You may come with us, live among those who protect and serve the light, or you may remain here on your colony, carrying the gift we have given you. Either path will protect you and allow you to use your power for good." Evan looked outside, at the colony he had always called home. He thought of the humans who lived ordinary lives, who might never understand the universe beyond their world. And he thought of his own heart, glowing with newfound strength. I will stay," he said finally. "I want to protect this place. I want to share what I've learned here." The grandmother smiled, a radiant, gentle smile that lit the room. "Then it is done. The gift is fulfilled. Your heart will shine, and the shadows will fear it. You are forever changed, Evan." The 5 children floated higher, forming a circle around him. "Remember," the smallest girl whispered, "kindness is your power, courage is your path, and love is your shield." Evan closed his eyes, feeling the energy in his hands, the warmth in his chest, and the sense of purpose that now filled him. He had fought shadows, faced fear, and discovered the true strength of his own heart. When he opened his eyes, the grandmother and the children had vanished, leaving behind only a soft glow in the room, a reminder that they were always near. Watching, guiding, Evan stepped outside. The colony looked the same: dusty streets, small houses, and distant mountains. But to him, it was different now. Every corner, every person, every act of kindness mattered. The galaxy was vast, but his heart was a light that could shine through even the darkest shadows. For the first time, Evan smiled fully, not just as a man, but as a protector, a beacon, a human whose simple act of kindness had changed the universe. And in that moment, Evan understood the ultimate truth. Kindness is power, courage is strength, and the heart can change everything. The sun rose higher, golden and bright. Shadows may return, challenges may come, but Evan was ready. The gift was fulfilled, and humanity had its hero.